inspired by poetry.
Let's give it some lip.
Ta-da.
Welcome back, everyone, to another podcast of Life Inspired by Poetry. I'm Jenna, and I'm here with TB. How you doing?
I'm really good.
Excellent. It's lovely to be together and to be looking at poetry again.
I know. I feel like I've been in this starvation mode for a while. So for those of you, we do this on an ad hoc basis, so we don't always see each other. So it's great to be back. I was really missing this.
It is, and you've been traveling, and you have all kinds of adventures and interactions that I'm sure have shaped you over the last few weeks. So it's lovely to be back and to see all that energy emanating from you based on what you've experienced over that time.
I think that every time that I travel, I look at poetry a little bit different because the context for the words and the meaning of everything changes for me as I travel. And as I've just come back from Vietnam, and such community, such, tenderness, just lovely, 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 lovely experiences. And I reflect on, being back and being grounded, and the difference is stark for me.
Yeah.
So it's the contrast is there. So from that lens, I'm going to look at the poetry today.
Excellent. And it just reminds us that we are always in the process of becoming.
Yes.
That every experience, every encounter that we have with new poetry, with new people is shaping us little by little.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, you're never the same person you are when you go to sleep as you were when you woke up that morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am is a very temporary state, isn't it?
It is. I am at the moment.
I am at this point in time.
Exactly. And another thing I've been thinking about before we get into the poems is just how much all art is an expression of hope.
It is.
Even when it's looking at something that might be dark and painful.
Yeah.
It is an expression of hope, because why else would you put into language, or why else would you paint, or why else would you take a picture of something if you didn't want to reflect on it in future?
Yeah.
And if you think there's a future, you think there's hope.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking this idea that art equals hope.
And it does. So I think you can't transform if you don't acknowledge, right?
That's right.
So the darkness, we may see it as darkness, but maybe it's the acknowledgement as a first stage of something else, of something better. That's right. So it's just to ground us and remind us that, maybe we need to take a second look at this.
That's right.
Maybe we're not as intended. Maybe other possibilities exist.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I'm always hopeful.
Yay. That's so good. Well, we've got a couple poems that are going to challenge us a little bit with their content and what they're looking at. But also, I think they're going to provide us with a different perspective.
Yeah.
And another way of shaping our understanding of this world, of our interactions, of our relationships. And so I'll let you introduce the first one.
So the first one is a poem on the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy.
Ooh, timely.
Very timely. His name's in the news, but not him, his son. But and it's been written by one of my favorite poets, Nikki Giovanni, grew up with, love, and African-American poet. She's a civil rights activist for me. She's a voice of the African-American community. So just really love her.
Foundational.
I just really love her. Grew up with her. And I can see that I've been highly influenced by her.
Yeah.
And not stylistically, because a lot of what she does is more prose for me. And it's very free form and open, whereas I'm more into the structure. I've been limiting my life into the structures, which she's so free.
Limiting, it's challenging.
I always think that, God, if only I could just do that. I haven't learned to do that, but I've been looking at her poem recently in order to sort of aid myself in freeing myself from the structures I put in place. In I like a certain style, and So I'm hoping that this is a way that will get me out of that. So very timely. And importantly for me, having just come back from Vietnam, is the role that nature plays in all of our lives. And I that's what has influenced my desire to sort of engage with this piece today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
The trees are, so this is a poem on the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy by Nikki Giovanni. Trees are never felled in summer, not when the fruit is yet to be born, never before the promise is fulfilled, not when their cooling shade has yet to comfort. Yet there are those unheeding of nature, indifferent to ecology, ignorant of need, who, with axe and sharpened saw, would in boots set forth damaging. Not the tree, for it falls, but those who would, in summer's heat or winter's cold, contemplate the beauty.
Oh, wow. And the presentation of it with the ellipses in between to slow it down.
I love it.
It just, oh my goodness.
It's the easiest thing to read, I have to tell you. The way she's done it it's the easiest poem I've ever read.
But it creates such emphasis. Like if you look at where those are, is fulfilled, is in summer, is fulfilled, indifferent. Like the words that are after those ellipses are just, oh, man. She's captured this idea and through this analogy of a tree being cut down before it has a chance to fulfill its purpose.
And the unfulfilled, those who may contemplate the beauty we have yet to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talking
it never came to
be.
No.
And what is so, great about this for me is to talk about something so dark, yet so hopeful in the end, right? Just never got to see its beauty. So it's not for the tree, for it falls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. For others. Who didn't get to experience
it's what it could be, like who didn't get shade or something. Yeah. Like it's just so beautiful. So, it's a way of really talking about something that is horrific, but getting a meaning to it that we can all look at and contemplate for many, many years to come, because it's not about the event, is it?
That's right.
It's about the lost. What's never fulfilled.
The domino effect of the loss.
And who it affects. Yeah. Not the tree.
No. Those who would have benefited.
Yeah. Those for whom that was the purpose.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So amazing in the way that it's so, like you say, a simple, easy read, but it's filled with such complex ideas. And that analogy is so apt to understand this, assassination of a pivotal political figure.
And a hero for many of us.
Oh, yeah.
And a hero for many of us.
Yeah.
And I like the at the end of each of the words before the ellipsis. So we start with summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we summer things, fruit, being born, promise, fulfilled, shade, comfort, very comforted by these things.
Yeah.
And then it takes on a different tonality, nature, ecology, need, who, saw, wood, boots, damaging.
Yeah.
So the twisting that, going from something very summer and hopeful to then going into that darker place with the axe and the boots and the damage.
Something natural to the unnatural.
Unnatural.
Yeah.
And then, again, fall.
Yeah.
So it says falls here, but it's almost like a change of season, right?
Yeah.
That wood, heat, cold, contemplate, beauty.
Yeah. Oh.
Just that alone is enough for me.
And the shape and the logic of it.
That tells me everything I need to know in that.
Yeah.
So as a structuralist in some ways and in poetry, I love what she's done here. And it has to be just very challenging to do.
Yeah.
So structures I always find challenging, but this for me structurally would have been challenging.
Oh yeah.
And great.
And she has laid that out so well in the 3 stanzas. Each stanza is focusing first on the natural turn to unnatural, and then how nature was impacted by that unnatural act.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it a lot. Oh, wonderful.
It's making my day.
Yay.
I have to say, this is going to be my new thing, like it's going to be my screensaver for a few days.
Good. Yeah, have that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a beauty, there's like a brutal beauty
Yeah.
in it because there's a loss.
Yeah.
But you're right, there's this hope.
This is how.
And this full realization of what the tree could have been.
Yeah. And the seasons of our life too, right? The
Yeah.
seasons when things are blissful and bright to the seasons when they become a little bit darker. And it was not in the midst of winter. It's just the falls.
I know.
Yeah.
And winter is when we would expect
Yeah.
death and decay
Yeah.
and destruction.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
in summer where you're youth
Right.
and you're in your prime.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, to piggyback off that, we've got a poem here from Adrienne Rich, Australian author who is a social advocate and activist, prolific author. And this poem is called What Kind of Times Are These? And it's also quite prose-like
Okay.
in the way that it's structured. So I think it fits very nicely with what we see from Nikki on that one. There's a place between two strands of trees where the grass grows uphill and the old revolutionary road breaks off into shadows, near a meeting house abandoned by the persecuted who disappear into those shadows. I've walked there, picking mushrooms at the edge of dread. But don't be fooled, this isn't a Russian poem. This is not somewhere else, but here, our country, moving closer to its own truth and dread, in its own ways of making people disappear. I won't tell you where that place is, the dark mesh of the woods meeting the unmarked strip of light, ghost-ridden crosswoods, leaf mold paradise. I know already who wants to buy it, sell it, make it disappear. And I won't tell you where it is. So why do I tell you anything? Because you still listen. Because in times like these, to have you listen at all is necessary to talk about trees.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I'll let you
Wow.
look through that. But yeah, again, this one has 4 stanzas.
Yeah.
Each of those, I believe each stanza is just 1 sentence long. And it does just kind of run over.
Just run over.
Into all of these ideas. And it's just, again, capturing that kind of, there is something that is unnatural.
Yeah.
In the way that we treat the natural, whatever that might be, the natural world, our natural selves. Yeah. Because, I mean, we are part of nature.
Yeah.
And yet we can be the cruelest to each other.
And the desire to protect you from it from not telling you where it is.
Yeah. And so why tell you at all?
Just so that you listen.
Just so that you listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want you to pay attention for 1 second.
Yeah.
Right? Not gonna give you the trade secret, but I just want you to pay attention.
And then that also opens it up for you to look.
Yeah.
And for you to see where we are not maybe fulfilling our obligation to each other, our humanity, where we're not fulfilling our obligation for just being part of the ecology.
Yeah.
And we can look and see where we can be better.
And as a first read through, I wanted to personalize it to think that there were humans that were destroyed. But the more I read through, I think it's just Mother Earth.
I think it's,
Do you know, there's this twist on it in a way that you kind of think that when the Russian piece comes in, this isn't a Russian poem where you think of the revolution. I love that.
Meta poeticism.
It kind of, reminds you that, but those who buy and sell and cut the trees down, it sort of gave the land meaning and it was personified, right? Yeah. It's there. The ecology has different types of lives in it. Yeah. All meaningful. So it just brought it back to, who we are, what we're a part of as something much bigger than ourselves.
And I like that ambiguity that it could be referring to actual trees.
Yeah.
But also
could be humans.
Humanity.
Or both.
Or all.
Yeah.
Well, it could be.
And the fact that it's never stated for me is what's important, because does it really matter which of those things?
No. Both are important.
That's what I like with. Well, I wanted wanted to know, was this an indigenous piece? Was this part of something else? And then I thought, well, why? Maybe I should just listen. That whatever is happening is not okay.
Yeah. In whichever realm
it is.
that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So again, another
my other screensaver. No, but this is just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
So lovely. And this, I walk there picking mushrooms at the edge of dread.
Yeah.
I love that. Edge of dread. Our country moving closer to its own truth and dread. So that you have that dread is repeated twice in that. It's like, if we don't adjust, change course, what are we leaving ourselves? Like what are we doing if not building everybody up? If not providing safe community in whatever form that looks like.
I think it's a check for me. It's a check-in for us as human beings, and just thinking about what are we doing here?
What's our real purpose?
What is our real purpose? What is our real purpose?
First one.
Exactly.
Are we flourishing? Are we meeting our purpose, or have unnatural things interrupted?
And for those who would, in summer's heat or winter's cold, contemplate the beauty.
Can you look around?
The lost beauty in both of these.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's been pushed into the shadows. Yeah.
Wow. It's great to be back.
It's good. Poetry makes you think. It does. And it also, like I said, it brings that hopefulness. Like, even if it's talking about something that is lost.
Yeah.
You don't talk about something lost unless you think it can be refound.
And you have a role to play.
That's right. In putting that together and like in being part of that conversation, even just listening.
Yes.
And I love that.
And that's what I love about this. So it's less of an admonishment, but just the openness of just taking the time to stop, to listen, and to think.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, how about we do this again soon?
We will.
All right.
I'm ready to be back. I'm ready to be back. My soul is starving at the moment, so bring it on.
Excellent. And I've actually had some lovely encounters with poets that have agreed to come and chat with us as well. So hopefully we will have a poet in residence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, everybody, as we chat about poetry and gush about all that it makes us understand about our lives and about our purpose. And I hope that these poems resonated with you.
And I do hope for all of us, we can all contemplate the beauty before it is lost.
That's right. Excellent. Well, we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.